Living in the end, the art of fulfillment. Everything that exists in your world is the outpicturing of an inner assumption. Every condition you call real was once an invisible conviction within consciousness. So if you wish to change your life, you must not fight against appearances. You must rise above them in imagination and live as though your desire were already realized. This is the essence of living in the end. It means that you no longer strive toward what you want. You rest in the knowing that it is already done. Your work is not to make it happen. Your work is to accept that it has happened. Imagination creates reality. Imagination is not daydreaming. It is the creative power of God expressing through you. When you imagine with feeling, you are shaping the substance of reality itself. You are not asking the universe for permission. You are declaring your identity as the one who already is. Neville taught, imagine yourself into the state of your fulfilled desire. Remain there. Persist until it feels natural. This is not wishful thinking. This is conscious creation. When you imagine yourself already having, being, or doing the thing desired, you ignite a vibration within that reorganizes your world accordingly. You attract not by desire, but by identity. You do not get what you want. You get what you are. The feeling of the wish fulfilled. The key is feeling. Words alone are powerless. Feeling is the creative force. To live in the end means to feel now what you would feel then. If your desire were already fulfilled, how would you walk? How would you speak? What would your evenings feel like? What kind of peace would fill your heart? This is the emotion you must summon. Not tomorrow, but now. The present moment is the only creative moment there is. When you dwell in that inner satisfaction, you are no longer asking for change. You are embodying it. And reality cannot resist the vibration of a fulfilled soul. The inner conversation. Your inner dialogue is the builder of your destiny. Every thought is a silent decree. Every emotion, a seed. If you speak within yourself as one who is still waiting, you perpetuate waiting. But if you speak as one who already possesses, you quicken the manifestation of that possession. Neville urged his listeners, change your inner conversation, and you will change your world. For what you whisper to yourself in silence becomes the loudest echo in your external life. Therefore, speak inwardly as one who already knows. Give thanks, not for what will come, but for what already is. Say quietly in your heart, it is done. I am. And the outer world must mirror that inner confession. Persistence, the master key. The greatest challenge in living in the end is persistence. Your senses may deny what your spirit affirms. The world may appear unchanged while your heart declares transformation. But persistence bridges the gap between assumption and expression. Neville said, a change of feeling is a change of destiny. Do not return to the old state because appearances tempt you. Hold your inner ground. When the outer world contradicts you, do not fight the evidence. Ignore it. Remain faithful to your unseen reality, and it will take form at the appointed hour. Faith beyond sight. Faith is not hoping things will happen. Faith is seeing with the inner eye that they already have. To live in faith is to dwell in the unseen as though it were seen. It is the steady conviction that the invisible is more real than what appears before your eyes. When you persist in this conviction, circumstances must yield. People, opportunities, and coincidences align to deliver the picture you have been holding in imagination. This is not because you forced it. It is because you became it, living from the end, not toward it. Most people live toward their goals, always reaching, always hoping. but the awakened live from their goals. They begin with the end already achieved and let life rearrange itself around that end. When you live from the end, your actions are inspired, not desperate. Your choices flow naturally, your timing becomes effortless, and your energy aligns with what you already are within. Living from the end is the art of non-resistance. It is the calm authority of one who knows creation is finished. The wise do not strive. They remember. Revision. Rewriting the past. If the past seems to contradict your desired state, revise it in imagination. Go back to the event and rewrite it until it feels true and peaceful. Your subconscious does not distinguish between memory and imagination. Whatever you accept as true emotionally becomes your living reality. Thus, by revising your past, you liberate your future. Neville said, "Change the past in your imagination, and you change your life." This is not fantasy. It is conscious correction of belief. Gratitude, the seal of fulfillment. When you live in the end, gratitude becomes effortless. You no longer thank life out of hope. You thank it out of recognition. Gratitude is the proof of faith. It seals the assumption as complete. Every thank you spoken from the heart is a declaration of completion. When you are truly grateful, you are proclaiming, "It is finished, and so it shall be." Summary. To live in the end is 1. To imagine yourself already fulfilled. 2. To feel the emotion of completion now. 3. To persist until that feeling becomes natural. 4. To let gratitude close the act of creation. This is the art of fulfillment, the secret doorway between imagination and manifestation. You are not waiting for your dream to come true. Your dream is waiting for you to believe it has already come true. The bridge is built by assumption, and the crossing is made by faith. Step boldly into the world you have imagined. Do not seek signs. Become the sign. Do not chase your vision. Embody it. And the moment you do, the world will echo your inner certainty, saying softly back to you, "Yes, it is done." Everything visible once existed in the unseen. Every form, every event, every meeting that shaped your life began as an invisible state of being. To understand creation, you must first understand faith. For faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Faith is not blind belief or wishful thinking. It is the quiet certainty that the unseen world is the cause of the seen world. It is loyalty to the reality of your assumption, even when your senses deny it. Neville Goddard said, "Faith is loyalty to the unseen reality." When you are loyal to your assumption, you remain unmoved by appearances. You understand that appearances are nothing but the delayed shadow of a deeper truth, the truth of your inner conviction. Every creation has its season. Just as a seed must rest unseen in the soil before it sprouts, so too must your assumption gestate in consciousness before it becomes visible. You cannot hurry the process by fear or impatience. You can only nourish it by faith. When you feel the reality of your wish fulfilled, you have already planted the seed of manifestation. It will grow in its own perfect rhythm. Do not mistake silence for absence. In the invisible, the rearrangement of events is already taking place. The right people, opportunities, and coincidences are being woven together by an intelligence greater than your conscious mind. Faith requires that you release control of how things will happen. Your task is to define the end, not the means. The how belongs to the universe. It is orchestrated by forces unseen, moving through countless possibilities. Neville taught, "You do not have to lift a finger to make it so. It will happen by itself." That does not mean you become passive. It means your actions flow from inspiration rather than desperation. You act as one already fulfilled, not as one who is still seeking. When you assume the end and surrender the how, you allow the creative law to work without resistance. Fear and control tighten the flow of energy. Faith and surrender open it. Faith is calm. It does not beg. It does not chase. It does not force. It simply knows. When you know who you are, the creator of your reality, you do not struggle to manifest. You allow manifestation to unfold. This calm confidence is not arrogance. It is alignment with divine law. To remain peaceful while the world seems contrary is the highest act of mastery. The one who believes does not panic when nothing appears to move. They understand that movement in the unseen is far more powerful than any visible progress. Neville often said, "You must test it. Do not merely believe this law. Apply it deliberately. Choose a simple desire and live as though it were already fulfilled. Feel the satisfaction now, and let the evidence come naturally. When you see results, your faith grows. You no longer treat imagination as a fantasy, but as a creative instrument of reality. This personal proof builds unshakable conviction, and once conviction is established, the law becomes effortless. Your every assumption takes root immediately, for your subconscious no longer doubts the process. Doubt is not the enemy. It is the signal that your awareness is returning to the old state. When you notice doubt, do not fight it. Simply return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The mind loves to measure time and progress, but manifestation lives outside of time. It arrives when the state of completion feels natural, not when the calendar demands it. Therefore, do not measure by days or hours. When the feeling of "it is done" becomes stable within you, you have already crossed the invisible bridge. Behind every visible event lies an unseen orchestration. The universe moves like a silent symphony, adjusting every detail to align with your assumption. What you call coincidence is divine timing in disguise. When you dwell in faith, life becomes cooperative. People appear at the right time, opportunities arise effortlessly, and paths unfold without strain. You are not attracting these things. You are aligning with them by being the person who already has them. Your assumption pulls your future into the present. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means letting go of resistance. The inner tension that says, "It isn't here yet." When you stop fighting reality, you allow it to shift. When you stop pushing, you begin to receive. The art of surrender is the mastery of trust. It is saying, "I know it is done, even if I do not yet see it." And because you know, your energy harmonizes with completion. Faith and surrender are not opposites. They are the same vibration expressed differently. Faith is the fire that ignites. Surrender is the stillness that allows the fire to burn undisturbed. There will come a moment, quiet, ordinary, and divine, when what you once held in imagination stands before you in form. You will feel no surprise, only recognition, for you will realize that it had existed within you all along. At that moment, you will understand the true nature of creation, that everything comes from within and returns to within. The outer world is the echo of your inner world. When you change the assumption, you change the echo. And when you master faith, you master creation itself. 1. Faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. 2. Every assumption requires a season of unseen growth. 3. Surrender the how and focus on the end. 4. Remain calm. Knowing is more powerful than effort. 5. The unseen orchestration arranges all details. Faith is not passive. It is the highest creative activity of consciousness. It is the silence that moves mountains, the stillness that commands creation, the unseen power that makes all things possible. So tonight, as you close your eyes, do not ask, when will it happen? Instead, whisper softly, it already has. And in that quiet assurance, the unseen begins to move, turning imagination into fact and desire into destiny.